Today we're going to do something different. It's going to be very, very different. Today is Ed Camp.
Today we're doing an Ed Camp, an Ed Camp Inspired Day, which is we're trying to get teachers together to discuss what's important to them rather than feeding them the PD. What we did in the morning is we gave them a very brief introduction with only one simple rule, which is that it's up to them to decide what is most important to them. They write down on a Post-it note what they want to learn about, throw it up, and then they go into they self-organize.
First of all, New Frontier School Board, I worked here before, so it's really exciting to see professional development happening here. And the second reason is the type of professional development that's happening. It's that it's coming from the teachers. As you can see, like with this agenda, it started off, each of the squares looked like this. There was nothing on it, and then we invited the teachers to come and put up the issues and different themes that concern them on a day-to-day basis.
I'm really impressed the way teachers have taken to pick the topics to discuss and engage into the discussions, and I briefly looked at the notes. Some very interesting material is coming out of that.
It starts off, what are your ideas? What are some questions you have or things that you want to have conversations about with your peers? I mean, that's really what it is. And then they have the conversations and they're taking notes and putting in any resources that people may have onto collaborative documents that are online so that they're updated immediately.
And what I've been doing during the break is actually gathering all those notes and making a word cloud out of it. And out of the first session, we've just completed that exercise, and the word that appears the biggest in the word cloud is students.
As I said, I'm new, so I get to sit in with teachers and staff and people who have been doing this for years and years and years. I get to know how the system works. I get to know what I might possibly encounter at coming in as a new teacher, advice. It's very helpful.
I wasn't sure I was going to enjoy it because I'm so used to coming and just receiving. But the idea of being able peer-to-peer to discuss relevant issues, not just answering the questions that no one's asking. So these were questions we were asking, and some of the questions, in particular in the last session we had, were things I didn't even think of, like online learning. How is that going to affect us as teachers going forward? How does it affect students? Are we going to increase attendance if they have to come to school? Are their participation levels increasing? How does that affect us at the end of the day?
Well, I feel like it works because a lot of people want their voices heard, right? Everyone has different things that they want to talk about as opposed to just sitting there and listening. So even with these small little groups we're doing, we bring the issues to the table and then they're separated to even smaller groups. So it's us who decides the topic and then we get to discuss it.
It was introduced as a non-traditional pet day. I thought this was clever. This was a good opportunity to try something new. And I mean, when you let people decide, then you're not necessarily told what to do. You let people decide. It can take whatever. It's up to the people to bring it where they want, and I appreciate that.
I thought today was actually extremely productive for me, being a new teacher, because what it is I'm gaining experience from other teachers. I'm hearing about their experiences in the classroom. So if I have an issue that I think that I'm like alone with dealing with, then what's going to happen is I can present the issue and we can all talk freely about the subject.
I think people have a lot to say, so to give them the chance to say it is a good way to go. This should be the way. Maybe in the future to have more involvement from the teacher population.
I think that every PED day should incorporate some form of this, whether it be an hour allotted to it or half the day. But I think this is so relevant to what we need to know. How are other people doing it? Not just how other school boards are doing it, but how are people that we work side by side with that we never have the chance to relate to on issues like these.
I think this is a really good thing because you get to work with other teachers, you get to hear their experience, you get to hear their solutions, their propositions that they might bring to the table, then you get to bring it back into your own classroom.
To me, what would make this a success is that teachers walk out of here with something concrete they can use on Monday morning. So instead of just us feeding them information, they have now, through these discussions, found something out that's really meaningful and relevant and sharing stories with each other.
I think it's a great idea because it's coming from the teachers and the support staff. It's not coming from the directors and the coordinators per se. So it's what the people want to talk about. It's what they need to know and what they need to find solutions to. And so hopefully they'll walk away from this providing us with strategies that now at the board level they can start putting into place and supporting their staff better.
It's teachers, office staff, maintenance staff, support staff, guidance counselors, like everybody is here today. My hope is that each person, or as many people as possible, leave with something that they find valuable to them.
I really do firmly believe that the best type of professional development that teachers can get is from each other. They're the ones in the classrooms, they're the one with all the solutions and problems, and them sharing those ideas together is extremely powerful.